So here I am, back just like that. Now, life has surprised me most recently. What was that? Something's crazy happening with lights around here. So life has surprised me, but it didn't surprise me at the same time. So it's funny because the last video I posted was around April, and exactly on that day there was a group layoff at my job. I did get to keep it, however, not for long. I knew it's just a matter of time when I will be also reduced, which happened exactly last week. But first, I did expect it, so I kind of planned. And also, I kind of got some extra money just for nothing, so in a way, universe has taken care of me. I have peace of mind. I have some time for myself. And my fiance actually decided to go to the lake today for a week. He planned that, and I even was joking that if they sack me, I will probably join him as well, which I did. However, one big difference. I decided to dedicate this time for myself, so I rented a room next to a lake. So basically I'm by myself here, and he's with his brother fishing, so I'd like to keep it that way. And the plan is to make a mini meditation retreat for myself. So I will delve deep into Dr. Joe Dispneza teachings, but also his meditations. I'm also doing my training course from one of the people that derived from Dr. Joe. So, as you can imagine, I observe my thoughts vigorously every day. Many times I do get unconscious. However, I think I start to have some breakthroughs, small breakthroughs, where I notice certain patterns. And I realized how much I've been allowing my environment to dictate how I feel. And quite frankly, I don't like it because it puts me in a vulnerable position. One other thing, there is absolutely no reception here, apart from I can call someone, but forget about internet, which is good because it's gonna be not just mini retreat, but also screen detox. So the plan is to journal, to read books, to meditate, to walk in forests and see how I feel after this week. Anyway, see you in the next one. Day 2, everyone. Right now it's still morning. I managed to do meditation in the morning at 6 o'clock. So today I bought the walking meditation 5. I will do it for the first time. We'll see how it goes. Funny enough, I forgot to mention yesterday that the moment I walked in to this apartment, my phone played a song from George Michael called Freedom. And at first I didn't know what's going on because it was playing pretty loud on my headphones, so I could hear the beat, and I thought there was some sort of clock loudly working in the apartment, but then I realized, oh no, somehow my phone is playing a song. So it's kind of interesting. It's like a universe is sending me a sign that there you go, you wanted freedom, there you have it. I guess I wasn't specific enough because, I did get some income, but it's not steady. So I guess I will have to trust and see how everything unfolds. I trust that the universe will take care of me. It did in the past when it comes to finances, so we'll see how it goes. I thought I might show you what's inside of this apartment that I'm staying at. So it's pretty basic. There's a kitchen and a bathroom, and basically just like plain beds. Oh, I didn't make my bed yet. And this is the view. So I have a view over horses, which is quite nice, I'd say. The owner specifically selected this apartment so that I can see the horses outside. I think it's quite cute. Alright, so I don't have much to tell you apart from, that funny story with the song. And also, morning meditation was a group meditation. My meditation group, when they found out I lost a job, they were like, oh, we will do an intention meditation, in your intention for an abundant life. And I said yes. I was quite surprised because I wasn't around there for quite some time. But they were nice enough to think of me and send that intention to the field for me. So I joined them as well. Although I was doing synchronizing to health, they were doing synchronizing to abundance or something like that, or to new life. I don't know. I don't have that meditation. Sorry guys, my battery died. Man, I'm really tired. I think I had like 4 hours of sleep. I really couldn't sleep during the night. Prior to going to sleep, I was doing group meditation again, and I received a lot of energy, and also I received this conviction that I'm healed. It lasted only for a few minutes, maybe longer, and then I kind of like got this, I don't know, I wouldn't call it panic attack, but was close to it. At first I thought that maybe my sugar dropped because I didn't eat much during the day. I didn't have much for supper either. You know, shops are quite a long distance from here, and I didn't buy anything to eat. So that was my logical explanation. But then when I eaten something, this feeling didn't go away, and I realized, oh shit, I think I'm having like some sort of panic attack. So I started to breathe in and out, and I was like holding space for this fear emotion that came up with me. And finally, slowly, the heartbeat subsided to normal heartbeat, and I fell asleep around 1. So I wasn't feeling so tired when I woke up, but now I start to feel the toll of it. I went to the forest when I still had some energy, and I did, for the first time, I did walking meditation 5. It was really touching, especially at the end. You kind of like, Dr. Joe guides you to realize that you have this past self that brought you to this moment. So send love to that past self. And from the present self, become aware of this future self that also sends you love. And there's always like this future self that can draw you to you if you send love to it. I do not articulate it in a really good way, but it was amazing how good I felt doing that. I'm right now in a moment where I really don't know where all of this is going. I really don't know if I'm on the right track or if I'm not on the right track. It's like, it's total unknown, and I think this is what created this reaction, because I'm staying alone here in this apartment, and I guess an old pattern came up of not being supported enough, and maybe that's why, or maybe it's just like something came to the surface which wouldn't normally come to the surface if I was with someone or distracted by something. We do distract ourselves all the time with spending time with other people, listening to other people's opinions, watching TV, watching Netflix, scrolling social media, drinking, smoking, whatever it may be for you. We've all done it. I've done it. I've been distracting myself quite a lot, and it's basically, I think we do it because we don't really like where we are, so we distract ourselves. So it's important sometimes to make this time for yourself to not be so distracted and to stay present, even if you have those uncomfortable emotions. And no major updates apart from things falling away and people reacting in a funny way to me, especially strangers. I think I mentioned it yesterday. Some are super nice, some are really nasty. I don't know what's that all about. It's kind of funny. I even observe my thoughts more, and I kind of realize I have a lot of shitty thoughts, which, well, surprise, surprise, that we all have those. And it's kind of funny to go about your day listening to your thoughts all the time. Well, I wish I could do it all the time. But I'm getting there. I'm getting to this master level of being aware. I think I'm gonna take some time off here, rest, and see you tomorrow. Hi guys. It's day 3 since I got here. The day didn't go as planned. I actually recorded this video already, but I erased it accidentally, so this is how unplanned this whole day is. So basically I had a plan to do a longer 4-hour pineal gland meditation with Dr. Joe. I was supposed to wake up at 4 a.m., but I was so exhausted that I fell asleep and I forgot to set my alarm clock, so I guess it was supposed to happen. However, in the morning I did one of my favorite meditations, which is currently Blessing of the Energy Center 7, Harmonizing. I don't know, even the cover of this meditation really spoke to me. You see a silhouette of a person meditating, and there are all kinds of colors there. It looks amazing, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. So this one actually focuses on opening your heart at the beginning. Then you kind of do the breath, and then you bless your energy centers, and then you lie down. Basically, it takes like an hour and a half. So it's enough for me to overcome myself straight in the morning. I have to admit I don't do it every morning because I don't know, somehow an hour seems easy for me now. But an hour and a half already starts to be challenging, which is good actually, if you kind of challenge yourself every day. And I noticed that when I do this meditation, my day, somehow I go through the day much better than I would without it, and I do not react so much to my environment. And it was my biggest discovery since I started mind training, that I was governed a lot by my environment, by my body as well. But first I wanted to overcome my environment, especially when unfavorable things are happening around me. Sorry about that. I didn't know someone lives here. Actually, I thought I was alone in the whole building. So it's day 3 in nature. I did this harmonizing Blessing of Energy Centers meditation in the morning. Then I went out to the forest to basically do a walking meditation. And the music is amazing. I really like the music. I mean, all of his walking meditations have great music, but this one really spoke to me. I actually decided to buy it out of one synchronicity. So the YouTube has recommended me a video of one lady I used to watch. She's actually Polish as well, just like me. And she was crying on that video, but crying like happy tears. And she said that she just finished Walking Meditation 5. She had so many downloads. She recommends it. And I'm like, cool, I don't have that one, so I will try it. And And yeah, now I really enjoy it. So it's day 2 since I did it in the morning as well. Obviously, well, I can do it because I have lots of free time now on my hands. I really walked into this version of myself for some time where I was actually asking open-ended questions like, how would I walk if my life was easier? If it was easy, if I was if all my needs were met and if I had income, I was glad with my job and I was healthy. How would that future me feel? How would I walk? And I swear it's not just this meditation. I did few other walking meditations, and I have this moment where I actually feel that energy, and I feel that I even walk different. I have a different flow in the walk when I ask those questions and I tune into that. So something is happening, things are shifting. I really don't know yet where this unknown situation is going to lead me, but as Dr. Joe says, the best way to know your future is to design it. Asking those open-ended questions and tuning into the answers, to the frequency of that, actually gives you an upper hand. And there were situations today that were really not so cool, and normally I would freak out. I don't even mention my symptoms, that's one thing, but also I had a fight with my fiance today over the same thing as usual. And normally, my past self would ruminate, would be upset, would think all kinds of things about the situation itself. But I just said what I said, and I just left. And here I am in the room, happy to be all by myself, not being around that energy. And, well, we're gonna work it out the next day. There's always the next day. And I don't need to engage in an argument when arguments are unreasonable. I don't do that anymore. I can just leave and protect my own energy. And that's what I did. That was the best thing I did to protect my own boundaries. So I don't even feel upset about this whole thing. That's the most surprising thing for me. I actually appreciate more the whole situation I'm in. I know I got laid off, and for many people would be very unnerving, but I actually appreciate this as a gift from the universe. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to spend some time on my own and be in nature and meditate and try to figure out what to do next. Maybe figuring out is even it's also the worst. No, I wanted to say it's not the accurate word, because when you're in the unknown and you're open to the unknown, it's actually really hard to figure out anything. You choose to surrender and receive some sort of guidance, some sort of assistance. Could be an email, could be someone contacting you, could be a job advertisement that keeps popping up on your screen and that wouldn't be your immediate thing you would apply for. That's actually what happened with my last job. I didn't want to apply there, even though they were paying good money. And I didn't even know why. I guess it was outside of my comfort zone. But in the end, I just applied because it kept on showing up on my screen, bothering me. So it was one of the best decisions. I was able to earn enough money to not only sustain myself, but also save up. And I could go to Mexico, for example, for the first time in my life. And it was something that before I would consider as something unachievable. So things happen, and stay open, I guess, and don't be upset when something wrong is happening. Maybe it's in your best interest, you don't know that. Tomorrow I have plans, but if they're gonna work out, we'll see. and see you in the next one. Hi everyone, it's day 5. Tomorrow we're leaving. However, I have something important I want to record. I didn't record yesterday, but it is connected. So yesterday I did the 4-hour pineal gland meditation. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I finished around 8. And it wasn't like last time I did it here. I didn't feel that much different, although there was a lot of energy going through my body. And later I just went to the woods to do another walking meditation, which actually made difference. I mean, difference in a sense, like, I think I already mentioned it, but I kind of understood that we have all those versions of ourselves, past selves and future selves, and to the future selves we can connect, and just as much as to the past selves, and it's important to send love to both. First of all, I truly believe now that we are multidimensional, and when you send love to your past self, you kind of give yourself a kind of energetic boost to keep on going. While when you connect to your future self sending it love, it also responds with the same, so you kind of get dragged into your future self easier. I was kind of tired, so I listened to my body after all of this, and after the dinner I just went back here to have a nap. So after an hour or so I woke up. I was very refreshed. I was surprised how refreshed I felt, given how tired I was because of that 4-hour meditation. Funny enough, we do make those sacrifices, we do overcome ourselves sometimes in long meditations. Sometimes it doesn't really work, even if you do like 4-hour meditation. And I discovered something today in the morning. I woke up having same thoughts in my head connected to my problem, and I thought, isn't it like, I mean, I wasn't really judging it, but I was like thinking the same thought, the same problem pops up in my head. Just first thing that pops up in my head when I open my eyes, and I didn't like it. And then I thought, okay, I did so much meditating and still this comes up. And I made a conscious decision to stop myself, say change, and you just change to a different thought. And at first it kind of feels silly because at least I was so like used to doing the same thing. But then it's just like gradually I started to think general thoughts, but better thoughts, slowly but surely, just like Abraham Hicks teaches you to think the better thought. And it's not about fighting the thoughts, it's more about directing them in a different direction. And then I was just like, okay, let's just listen to something inspiring instead. And I started to listen to not testimonials, believe it or not, but happy faces from Dr. Joe Dispenza's channel about, the recap of the week-longs they did. And I really like those videos. These are really my theme for this day, because you hear Dr. Joe speaking very inspirational things, and it also puts you into this mode of thinking that way. And I was listening to one of the Cancun recaps, and he was like, we are conditioned to narrow our focus on a problem on a 3D world, and this work is about overcoming it and becoming greater than your environment. And this is something I've been dealing with for quite some time. It was often challenging, and I've been, going down the hill with the usual thoughts, which weren't helpful for me at all. And I really start to kind of like intertwine both meditation as a tool to train your subconscious, but what is most important is what you do outside of the meditation. Do you go unconscious? Do you go your usual way of thinking? Or are you trying to at least install new things in your head? Because it's not enough to say change, you kind of need to have a plan what you want to think instead. So today I listened to meditation. I didn't even do meditation in the morning. I was like, okay, enough of meditating. Let's just have something fun to do during this day. It was supposed to be raining today, but I was like, I don't feel like it's gonna rain for the next few hours. Why don't we just use it? And I planned to go for a bike ride to this beautiful place where there are some stone circles. There is an energy circle there. And I wanted to go there and meditate there, but not Joe Dispneza meditation, my clairvoyant meditation instead, because I don't really need headphones to do that. That's also something that I really like doing, because it's something I just decide to do and I can do it. I don't need a recording. So I went there. The ride was so graceful, so beautiful, even though it was cloudy, but the weather conditions were perfect for bike because it wasn't too hot. And my mind started to make all kinds of excuses. My legs hurt, it's gonna rain, you're gonna be wet, you didn't take anything to, you didn't take rain jacket or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna enjoy this anyway, even though I didn't bring everything possible that I could to prevent myself from getting wet. And funny enough, the rain only began 10 minutes away from this place. Like, I had full hours of the best weather ever. And I realized, okay, my brain or mind really tries to make up stories to stay safe, to stay in the same situations. It doesn't really like when I do something spontaneous just like that, and there's like lots of excuses. Sometimes the thoughts I have are not even mine. My partner was also like panicking, it's gonna rain, I'm gonna get wet, and I'm like, so what? And while I was like riding my bike, I began thinking general thoughts, the good stream of thoughts, and I did it like a few times during the ride. It felt so good. I don't know if I will be able to locate this particular video from Abraham Hicks, but it was like, I asked this open-ended question, what would an easy life feel like? And then I hear her words saying, it feels like me, it feels like ease, it feels like freedom, it feels like flow, it feels like fun. Your mood starts to lift, and it's so easy, and you really don't have to follow the negative stream of thoughts. You can redirect them. So that was the biggest lesson, I think, for me during this day, that you don't really need to spend hours in meditation, although you can if you want. I mean, I did it many times, I still do it, but at least I'm more aware now that this is just a tool. What matters the most is what you do outside of meditation. And it's the same thing I've heard Dr. Joe say during those happy faces videos. He was like, you need to practice opening your heart even when you have open eyes. If you don't do it, then this work is nothing, because it doesn't matter what you do in the meditation if you don't do it with your eyes open. Hi guys, it's the last day. Actually, we're leaving today. As you can see, I'm packing myself. Sorry about background noise. Some people rented the room next to me. It's gonna be a short one because I don't have that much time. However, I wanted to talk about something that happened to me at night, and I guess you could qualify it as the first ever astral projection or lucid dream. Actually, I did have a few lucid dreams in my past, but this one was different. I think it was more like astral projection rather than lucid dream, because I didn't have control all the way, although I was aware that I'm aware. Anyway, I've been doing this new Dr. Joe Dispneza meditation because I couldn't fall asleep, and I really enjoy Meilan singing. So I thought, how about I'm just gonna do this Life, Love, Mystical. I don't remember the name of it. I will post it somewhere here, I guess. And this particular meditation has a code inside of it where you basically join your first center with your fourth center and then with your sixth center. You kind of like harmonize all three of them. So no wonder I had an experience, although I wasn't even looking to have an experience, I just wanted to fall asleep. So I went to sleep early around 9 because I was tired, and I woke up at 1 and I did something silly. Obviously, instead of trying to go back to sleep, I started scrolling my phone. Yes, I do that, I'm not perfect. And you know, the blue light isn't really helping with falling asleep, so basically around 5, I think I sat almost until 5 a.m. Yeah, I think I fall asleep around 5 after doing this meditation, which is like 24 minutes, so it's not that long. And I did it twice actually. First time I did it at 3 a.m., but then I couldn't still fall asleep, and I felt a lot of love around me when I was doing it. So then I decided to do it one more time because I was still tossing and turning in bed. This time I didn't feel any love, anything really. I was more like super relaxed. And after it was finishing, I just unplugged everything, including my headphones, rolled on my side and fell asleep. And the dream was like this. First I was in front of my apartment and I was in a car. It was a blue car. It was like a sports Chevy kind of type of car. Nothing that I would be able to afford at this time. However, I remember it was kind of real because it was a big sport car and I had trouble parking it. So it was hilarious because I'm not the best driver. I can drive, but my parking abilities are just like, yeah, I never learned properly to park. Anyway, at some point I decided to sit at the back and allowed some force to drive the car for me. And I decided to run this car full speed towards the building, but I wasn't afraid. I was like, I'm aware it's a dream and I just want to jump somewhere else. So I allowed the car to drive straight into the building, and all of a sudden I was going through a portal. It was like a black tunnel, but I could see the outline of the tunnel mixed a bit with white light. So I knew I was in some sort of tube going somewhere. And then I was basically in a different reality. It was daytime and it felt like it was United States. I was in a very big mansion. It was huge, and I didn't feel I have body anymore. I was more like awareness. But at the same time, something was pulling me upwards. Some force. I think the same one that was driving the car. And I heard like 4 times a sentence very loud. It was like, the wholeness is always with you. Leave your body. The wholeness is always with you. Leave your body. And I heard this like 4 times in a row, and I was like, okay. And then I surrendered, which allowed me to explore this place I landed in. And I was jumping through walls. I was looking at people doing their chores, working, talking, but I was more like a ghost. I don't think they were aware of me. And at some point, I entered a big ballroom that was kind of like decorated for, I don't know, some sort of service, some sort of wedding. And there were people really poshed up, dressed up, and they were waiting for something. And apart from that, not much was happening there. So at some point I said, I'm bored, I want to come back like to this reality. And that's when I woke up, and it was just 47 minutes that passed away since I fell asleep. So it was very interesting, especially the experience of going through a portal and hearing that voice. And I don't know, I kind of felt I wasn't afraid, although I was a bit shocked by the whole experience, but that that phrase really stayed with me, and it was so reassuring, and it came in a way I could least expect. So I think it was a divine talking to me. So that was very interesting stay, to say the least. At first I thought nothing unusual would happen here. I would just be chilling, meditating, and gathering myself up for the next level of reality I'm gonna face here. Because yeah, I need to find some source of income. I need to find a new job. Or at least this is what my logical mind keeps telling me. And at the same time, I was really happy to take out my camera and start vlogging again. I feel it's more natural now for me. I cannot really explain it, but I really feel that I've missed it on some level. Anyway, thank you so much for watching if you watched all the way through, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.